We promised you earlier on that we would be crossing to the Northwest Province, and that's because the late Cooperative Governance MEC in that province, Kegakilwe, will be buried this morning. He died on Monday as a result of COVID-19 related illness. So for more on this funeral, we cross to our reporter in Vryburg in the Northwest Province. Sellwane Khakhau is there to tell us more. Sellwane, good morning.
Good morning, Sakina. Yes, we are here in Vryburg. You know, it was the hometown of the late MEC Kegakilwe. The funeral is being held right behind me, this building, which is the Naledi local municipality in Vryburg. The funeral has not yet started. We have been seeing people trickling in since quite early in the morning, and even now you can still see people out here as the family is trying to ensure that people that are allowed to go inside do not exceed the number of 50, of course, trying to adhere to the lockdown regulations. But we know also that the initial plan was to hold the funeral service at his home just down the street. But of course, plans were changed in the last minute last night. So we're going to speak to the family spokesperson to hear more about how the arrangements have been and what exactly is planned for this funeral service. Dr. Kegakilwe, thank you so much for joining us. Firstly, let's extend our condolences to the family once more. Doctor, tell us, how has the planning been like, and what is the service going to look like today?
Yes, thank you and good morning. The planning has been very difficult because realizing that there is COVID regulation that we have to follow, and the numbers is being very limited, and as is the state funeral, we also have to combine the numbers with the government officials. So there is 30 and from the family and 20 from the government official. So of course we wanted the funeral to be private, but we will also allow the coverage live, and then the office of the premier will also do the virtual streaming that will allow people to bid him farewell.
Yes. Okay, Dr. Kegakilwe, we also know that it's quite difficult. Funerals that are COVID-related or people who died from COVID-related illnesses is quite difficult to do. We understand that in terms of the body being brought at home, there are certain things that people have to take into consideration. But with regards to this particular funeral service, your families, how have you planned around that?
Yes, from the start, I mean, we have very limited time. We only have 3 days to prepare for the funeral. And since from the start, we have been observing as much as possible to our best the COVID regulation, the social distancing regulation, limiting people to come forward, receiving condolences over the phone, and asking people to send messages or rather to call rather than coming home. So it has been quite difficult, but we did our best so far, and we think we'll end doing well.
Yes. Well, from our side also, we want to try our best to give a clearer picture of what is happening in terms of the funeral service itself. And of course, we're still also limited to a certain extent. But tell us, is the body of Ntate Kegakilwe in this building, or what has the family planned around that?
The body came from the mortuary, and the agreement is that the body from the mortuary will only be out of the hearse at the graveyard. So the body is here actually, but is in the graveyard. It's not opened. The pallbearers are ready for it, so they are just accompanying the mass to move around. But the body, they are not going to open the hearse until we reach the graveyard, as I've indicated.
Okay, and then also in terms of the times, how have you planned for things to go? From what time here, and then what time will the funeral be moving to the graveyard?
The plan from here must be less than 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then from there we'll move to the graveyard. The starting time was 7 o'clock, but of course, looking at the people, they have to go in the list and all that. So there are that minor delays that we didn't think of, to say people they have to fight in to get in, and then to say no, you are not in the list, you are in the list. But we are planning to leave the hall around within 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kegakilwe. We'll just leave it there. Dr. Kegakilwe is the family spokesperson, and he was giving us a clearer picture of how the funeral service is going to be carried out. We must also highlight that we were told by the family and the provincial government that Minister Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma will be delivering a keynote address virtually. She's not here physically, but she will be delivering that keynote address virtually. Studio.
Well, thank you so much, Sellwane Khakhau, speaking to us from Vryburg, there attending the funeral service for the MEC of CoGTA in the Northwest Province.